Hello everyone and welcome to my channel Make It Yourself. In today's tutorial we will learn how to make these vines along with the flowers that are attached to the vine. I have plans to integrate these vines to this white basket planter, and it's going to look special, but I did not want you guys to keep waiting until I finish the overall look. So I thought of going ahead and making the vines and the flowers tutorial for now, and once the basket and the overall look is completed I will post a separate video, link to which I'll provide in the description of this video itself. So for today's video we can go ahead and learn how to make these vines along with the flowers. You can use these vines for your other projects as well, like you can use it for any of your existing hanging if you have any baskets you can use these vines to decorate them as well. So let's get started. So one more thing, the details related to the yarn used, the hook size and the other items needed will be available in the description of this video. So do refer to the description for additional details. I'm starting off by using this green yarn and a hook of 4 mm, and I'm going to start off by making a slip knot. So to make a slip knot, wind this yarn around your finger, take this loop out and then pull a loop through it. So this is a slip knot, and after this we are going to chain 11. So make a chain of 11. So chain 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 and 11. Now on the third chain from the hook, first make 1/2 double crochet. So insert your hook into the third stitch, make a half double crochet, then chain 2 and make another half double crochet into the same stitch. After this half double crochet we will move on to the next chain. So into the next chain, first we are going to make 1 double crochet, and after the double crochet make 1 treble crochet. So to make a treble crochet you will have to yarn over twice, insert the hook into the stitch, pull a loop through it and pull through the first set of 2 loops, the second set of 2 loops and the third set of 2 loops. Now chain 1 and insert your hook into the base 2 loops, pull through it and make a slip stitch. This is called as a chain 1 picot. After that make another treble crochet into the same stitch. So pull through first set of stitches, second set of 2 loops and the third set of 2 loops. Now make another double crochet into the same stitch. And after this we'll move on to the next chain or the next stitch. So into the next stitch we are first going to make 1/2 double crochet, followed by a chain of 2, followed by another half double crochet. After this half double crochet we will chain 2 and slip stitch to the same stitch. So far we have used up 3 stitches to make this all to make this leaf. So now what we're going to do is we are going to slip stitch to the first stitch. So as you can see, this is the first, second, so this is the first stitch that we began with. So insert your hook into this first stitch and then make a slip stitch through it. Now the next slip stitch we will make into the chain that is at the base of the leaf. So for that, pull your yarn under the stem, or you can say under this chain, and then insert your hook into the stitch which is right at the bottom of this leaf and make a slip stitch through it. So here our first leaf is done, and now to make the remaining leaves we will follow exactly the same pattern. So I'll show you once again. To start off, we begin with a chain of 11, and after the chain of 11 we will be making one half double crochet. We'll start off with a half double crochet on the third stitch from the hook. Following this, we will make a chain of 2, make another half double crochet into the same stitch, and into the next stitch we will make first one double crochet, followed by a treble crochet, followed by a chain 1 picot, or you can say a picot, and after the picot we will make one more treble crochet into the same stitch, followed by a double crochet, and after this double crochet we will move on to the next stitch, and into the next stitch we will do what we did in the first stitch. So we'll first do a half double crochet, followed by a chain 2, followed by another half double crochet in the same stitch. Now make a chain of 2 and slip stitch to the same stitch. And now we are going to slip stitch to the first stitch that we started off with. So this is the first stitch. So make sure the yarn is on top of the uh, vine, and then make a slip stitch. Now to make the next stitch, which is on the base of the leaf, we will take the vine under the we'll take the yarn under the vine, and then we will slip stitch to this stitch which is right at the base of the leaf. So slip stitch to the leaf. Now we have 2 leaves here, and we will repeat exactly this same pattern to add as many leaves as you want to your vine. So for this current vine I will be adding a total of 6 leaves to it. You can make vines of different lengths by adding different number of leaves to it, and the pattern will be exactly the same for all. So this is my third leaf, and I am repeating the same pattern that I did for the first 2 leaves, and uh, here I'm going to complete 6 leaves. So here I have completed 6 leaves, and I have slip stitched it to the base of the leaf as well. And now after this last leaf is completed, all we have to do is we will just have to chain 1 and then trim off this yarn. So just make a slip stitch, or you can say chain 1, and pull the yarn tight to make a knot, and then trim off the yarn. Now this tail yarn that you have at this end, you can stitch it in to the existing stitches. So you can leave a longer tail and use a needle and stitch it in as well. I prefer using a smaller crochet hook, and I'm just passing this tail yarn through few of the existing stitches on the back of the leaf, and once I feel that this tail yarn is secure, I'm going to trim it off. You can also dab a bit of fabric glue or even other kind of glue to it, to make sure that the end is secure. So here we are done with this vine. You can make a number of vines of different length by adding or changing the number of leaves that you have. Now I'm going to work on the flower. You'll have details on what yarn I used in the description as well, so do refer to the description. So I'm going to start off by making a slip knot using this purple yarn, and then I'm going to chain 7. So chain 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 and 7. Now we are going to slip stitch to the 7th chain from the hook. So that is the very first stitch that we started off with. So slip stitch to the 7th chain. Now make a chain of 6 and slip stitch to the same stitch as we did in our for the first petal. So next we are going to repeat the same pattern. So chain 6 again, and then slip stitch to the very first stitch. We're going to repeat this pattern to make a total of 5 petals. So you will repeat this same pattern of chaining 6 and slip stitching to the very first stitch a total of 5 times, such that you have a total of 5 petals. So once you are done with the last petal, also make sure not to pull at the first stitch too much, otherwise you'll have a very big hole at the center. Once you're done with the last stitch, chain 1 and pull the yarn tight to make a knot and trim off after leaving a long tail yarn. So here, as you can see, we have 2 tail yarns, and what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna turn this flower to the back side, and on the back side, one of the tail yarn I'm going to bring it to the other side. So this tail yarn which we just slip stitched, I'm going to insert my crochet hook and pull it through few of the stitches, and I'm going to pull this yarn through few of the stitches until it is on the opposite side of the other tail yarn. This is mainly because I want to use this tail yarn to tie it to the vine once the flower is done. So it works well if we have the both the tail yarns on opposite sides of the flower. So here, as you can see, I just pulled it through few of the existing stitches such that this tail yarn is on the other side of the previous tail yarn. So now we have 2 tail yarns on both sides of the flower, and it will be easy to tie it to a vine. So once this is done, we will now work on the center part of the flower. So for this center part, I will be using this thread in yellow color. You can also use orange thread, and along with this thread I will also use a threader and a needle as well to stitch this center part to the flower. And all these items that I am using is from this sewing kit called Vellostar, and they have these amazing kits of different sizes. This first size is the small size, which has all the essentials which you can use like for emergencies, and this is a travel friendly kit, so you can carry it along with you for all your travels. And then they have the next version, which is a slightly a larger kit, and these have a little bit few more items compared to the smaller kit, and a more variety of threads as well. And finally we have the largest kit, which has like a lot of options and a few more additional stuffs in it. So this brand has been kind enough to send me these kits, and I feel that they're definitely very useful in many of my crochet projects also. I will provide you a link to these kits, and you will also have a promo available for you to purchase in case you want to purchase these kits. As you can see, they have 3 different sizes and all of them have all the essentials needed. So let's get back to the video now, and using the yellow yarn, I'm going to wrap it around my fingers a few times. And after I have wrapped it around my finger, I'll take out this set of yarn from my fingers, and then I am going to hold it in the middle, and I need to place a knot in the middle of this set of yarn. If you find it comfortable, you can use the same yarn, or you can trim off this current yarn and use a new yarn also. I'm using the same yarn. So to use the same yarn, what I'll do is I'll just wrap it around the center and then place a kind of knot. So to place a knot, pull it through this loop here and then pull it tight. You will get a knot at the center. It need not be exactly at the center because anyway we're going to trim it off later. And once you have placed this knot, you can wrap around once or twice more again through the center, and then you're going to fold it. So now you're going to fold these sets of thread this way, and then at this fold junction, we're going to hold it tight here, and we're going to use a clip which is also from the same sewing kit, just to keep it in place until I put the thread into the needle. So this is the needle which is from the same kit. So you can insert the thread into the needle. Here I just want to show, if you have trouble inserting a thread into a needle, this threader which is also available in the kit comes in very handy, and using this you can very easily pull the thread through the needle as I'm showing you here. So you just need to, this is called as a threader, so this threader comes in very handy at times like this. So now what you can do is you can remove the clip, and then a few so a little below the knot where we placed, we are going to wrap the yarn around it this way. So keep wrapping it around a few times, and once you feel that it is secure, you're going to insert your needle through the same uh, yarn where we had just wrapped and place a knot. You can place another knot just to make it extra secure. Just insert it from the top and bring it from the bottom as shown here and pull it tight. So here you can see that we have folded and tied the yarn together in this manner, and now we're going to cut off the top to get some fringes. So just trim it off, and now we can just shape it because we do not want it this long. So we're going to trim off a bit on top. So trim off a bit on the top and make sure that all the yarn are of equal length. And so this is the center part, and this I'm going to stitch this into the center part of the flower. So I'm going to take the flower now, and there is this center stitch which has this hole in it. Just insert this bottom part of this thread of the set of thread here, and now using the needle and the tail yarn, I'm going to stitch this into the center part of the flower. So you can just pass it through one of the stitches of the flower, and for ease of stitching, what we are going to do is on the back side we're going to fold it the flower this way, and as you can see, this bottom part of the yellow set of thread is available. We're just going to pass the needle through it and through the flower as well. So just pass it through few of the stitches of the flower, and then through this set of threads at the center. So you need to do this around the center part of the flower fully, so that this yellow threads are secure to the midsection. Just stitch, there is no right or wrong way of doing this. Just stitch in few times in all directions and make sure that it is securely stitched to the center of this flower. You can also try doing this using yarn instead of thread, but I feel with yarn the look will be a bit different. I wanted this center threads to be really thin. That's why I used thread here instead of yarn. You can also use a smaller size yarn and uh, use this exact method to stitch this center yellow part to the flower. So here I'm done stitching, and as you can see, this is how it looks now. You have the fringes at the middle of the flower. You can scatter it around, and now our flower is ready. You can make a number of flowers using the same pattern that I just showed you here, and now we can either tie it or stitch it to the vine. So I'll show you two ways of doing that. In this first way, what I'm going to do is you can use a needle or you can use a smaller crochet hook like I'm doing here, and you can pull first of all through the vine, insert your hook through the vine, and then pull one of the tail yarns through it, and after you pulled the tail yarn through it, you can place a knot, and once you have placed the knot, you can place two knots instead of one for extra safety, and then you can use a needle or a small crochet hook and stitch this purple yarn back into the back side of the flower. And once you have passed it through few of the stitches, what you can do is you can dab a bit of glue to these tail yarns to make sure that they do not come off later. So do it with both the tail yarns on either side of the flower, and then you can trim it off. So this is one way. The other way is even more simpler. All you have to do is get the flower and just tie it to the branch of or the stem of the flower. So just wrap it around the stem like this, and on the back side place two knots, and after placing the two knots like what we did previously, we're just going to stitch in or crochet in the tail yarns to the back of the flower. So for that, just pull the tail yarn through few of the existing stitches and then trim off. Do it similarly for the other tail yarn also. And you can add as many flowers to a vine that you want. So here I have used two flowers into one vine. You can make longer vines and add more flowers to it, and use these vines to make any of your creative projects. You can make these hanging plants or whatever project you want. I have a different project in mind, and I will show you the finished project in my next video, where I will make the complete the basket and show how to stitch it into the basket. and the basket also will have a different kind of look compared to what it is now. So in this video I just wanted to show you how to make the vine and the flowers, which you can use for all your other projects as well. So do remember to subscribe to my channel and click on the bell icon so that you know when the next video is out. I will also place a link to the overall video in the description of this video, so make sure you check out the description of this video as well, so that you know when the new video is out. I really hope you enjoyed today's project, guys, and just wanted to remind once again to subscribe to my channel if you found this video useful, and click on the bell icon for notification on new videos, and give me a thumbs up if this video was useful for you guys. And thank you very much for watching. Have a great day.